Hello, my name is Nicholas Krischi, and this is the third devblog I'm doing about Wisp. What is Wisp? Wisp is a arcade platformer where you fly around as a Wisp and you try to avoid obstacles. If you are interested, you can watch the prototype gameplay which is appearing right now. Okay, so what did we do last week? Well, last week we were still looking into level generation. I didn't get that far. I had some problems with it. I will go into this a little bit more today and then show you what I have concluded. Okay, so let's just jump into it right now. Last week I was already able to generate obstacles. It was not reflected in the GUI and it was like a really rough version. Currently I have it now implemented that basically everything from start to finish level will be generated procedurally. So if you look at this, I just pressed execute here, yeah, by the way. So if you look at this here, yeah. So there you also already see some problems, but okay. If you look at this, you see that a complete level is generated. This is a pretty boring level, so I could do in theory more levels. Like, let's see, what's this here? Maybe it's a little bit nicer. Why is this always this here? I don't know. Like currently it's weird. Do I have some obstacles overwritten here? No. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a little bit more interesting. But you see a couple of problems already. Like I executed a bunch of times the level generator, and the first problem is that the path finding is not great. Like we go from here to here, but the path was found here, which is correct, which is a fine path, but it doesn't make any sense to go there. So it's completely nonsense. Let's put it like this. I don't know what else to say. It's just garbage. You don't need it. The path is not needed. Last week we still had problems with like finding out how the which obstacles to spawn where, and like all that stuff is now basically fixed. It spawns all the different obstacles I have right now, which are not that many. That's why you see a lot of repetition right now. But if you look here, what do we have? Obstacles. For each tile here, you see like here are 6, 4, 4, yeah, around 4 always. Like some of them, actually only one of them has only 3, I guess, and the rest has at least 4 different obstacles, which I can generate in. So my problem now was that first of all, these paths are not really good. The next thing is like I was thinking about doing some really cool stuff, which the current workflow would not support procedurally. Like let's say here I have an obstacle where you have less space and you could fly around. Like what I would like to do is like I would like to have smaller paths to fly around. Like you could do in theory, like always the same, like always doing it in the middle again. Which, yeah, basically that was not a good example. Anyway, so but like if you take this one, that's a better example, I guess. So this here you will follow you, and if you put here an obstacle, then it's getting a lot harder. So basically also the difficulty grading is based on what comes before and what comes after. And like I always needed to leave some room in between these to make sure that I don't interfere with stuff. The next thing is the mixing and mashing with obstacles is a little bit more tedious because like this here. Here I have some cubes dropping down. If I generate another obstacle in this here, I would have a new obstacle, which is fine. But having what I need to do, or what I decided to do, is I need to generate the obstacles up front because I didn't want to have a logic that says this is fine to spawn in here because like, and how is the combination going, how do I rate the difficulty. It would just cause a lot of headache. And like when I thought about this more and more, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to put all this effort into procedural generation because I wanted to do hand created things anyway. Like the only thing I was thinking about is doing a mode, basically an endless mode, which would have been fine, but I think the amount of effort needed really doesn't. I think it's not worth it. Let's put it like this. So I switched away from this. Basically, the only code I lose because of this is the pathfinding code. Everything else I'm also currently using. So why am I using it for, or what am I using it for? I can show you. So we leave this one behind and go to the new way, which is default level beginning. Don't save. Okay. So from the code base I already got, like I tried to split the code pretty good so I can reuse it. Like not everything was perfectly reusable, but I was pretty quickly able to build a level editor now. What I have right now is I build a complete level editor, which for me is easy to use right now. Like it might need still a little bit of tweaking, but I'm completely happy. I think I can already show you today like how am I building levels, how am I doing everything, and yeah, maybe we will build a level today even. Let's see. So anyway, so this is my default beginning. This is centered out here in the middle. Just so, oh, it's actually not centered out. That's not good. I wanted to center it out. Ah, because the parent is not centered. Yeah, see, that's bad. Anyway, it should be centered. So let's do this quickly. Everything should be oh, wait, first center this. That's bad. Yeah, fine. And it's also centered. Centered. So, and where is it? Center player. That's it. Okay. So, what we did here is, or what I did here is, basically, for the beginning of a level, I always start with this tile. Why? Because, like, basically, this tile can transform into any tile I want. I want it to be. Like, actually, I think it might have been fine just using this tile all the time. Like I said, I'm not that experienced with game design, so bear with me. I'm new to this, so I really need to find out stuff as well. Anyway, I still have the other tiles, so I'm still using them. I'm not sure how much they are needed, but I think it's a little bit cleaner, and you see, when we build a level, it's a little bit better to use them. Anyway, like, for the beginning tile, I will always use this, because I basically can go into all directions. If I don't want to have any... Wait, I want to save also the scene. If I don't want to have some of these open borders, I can just close them. But let's go through what I have right now. Basically, each of these tiles that will now be spawned has this... Wait, do this. Has this script attached to them. I hate this bug that it's always looking weird. Anyway, has this script attached to them. The script itself actually doesn't do that much. It's more the inspector stuff that is important. What I'm able to do here is I'm basically able to put another tile with this on any open exit or closed exit. So, or dock point. That's how I call them. Let's say I want a tile to the right. I can press instantiate tile. Oh, yeah, I was a little bit too quick, but anyway. So this tile is instantiated here. It uses this tile because I checked this. So if I want to change the tile here, I can go swap tile. The button changed. If I go to left, it's still instantiate. It depends on which exit it is. It will find out if it's already connected or not. If it's connected or not, you can swap it. You can swap it for a border, so it's closed off. You can, whatever, destroy the object that is there, whatever. You can do basically anything. You can destroy the object itself. You can center the player here. So basically, I'm very quickly able here to generate my path through the level. Yeah. So we have this. What else do we have? So if I want to continue working here, basically I will need to select this tile now and then say, oh, I want to go down. See, here are only 2 exits. That's why it's only shown 2 exits right now. I want to go down. And what do I want? Here, by the way, also only tiles that you can, in theory, connect will be shown here. So you cannot really make any mistakes. So let's say I want to go left-right here, instantiate tile, and then I will go to the left here and say I want to do this up. By the way, this is now not closed. Just that I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about it. So this would the borders would close here. So I probably will still need to fix that. But I will need to see how I'm doing that. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I will need to keep information, or I don't know. Like I really have to look. I just thought about this right now. So anyway, um, so let's say we want to have this here. Oh, what did I do? I just selected it. I did not instantiate it. Yes, so now it's instantiated, and now we have a nice round thing here. Like I said before, if I now press close all open borders, everything will be closed. The only problem is, see, this here. Currently, I do not detect this anyway. Like, let's leave it at that for now. It's not really important, I think, that the connection is not there. Like I said, it's a small fix. I will destroy the borders again because I want to continue working here. That was just for showing off. And let's do another one to the left and say we want to go down here. Instantiate tile. So now we have a small level where I have this. Now I will close all the borders off. By the way, right now I think it's fine to have it like this because I don't want to go through here, but there might be situations where you want to have levels like this, where maybe you have to go from here to here and you want to have the possibility to go up or down. But like I said, I will need to fix this. It's fine. It's not that hard to do. So so I will now close the borders. Like, I'm not that familiar right now with the with all the buttons and the UI because I just finished it, but I will get more familiar and we'll get quicker with this. So now we have a basic level. We start here, we want to go here, so let's say we want to have the goal here, so we press spawn goal. Here we can despawn and delete the goal. Like, if we have multiple goals, you can press destroy goals, but anyway, like, that's just small stuff. I don't think really, it didn't take much time, that's why I did it, but I don't think it's really that much needed. Like, I just want to have a really good flow for creating the levels very quickly. That was really important to me. So now let's build the rest of the level. We want to have some obstacles in the level as well. So this is the first tile, this is the start tile, this is the second one. So let's say, what do we want? Okay, wait, let's go through this first. What we have here is we have the obstacle types. This obstacle types will match the obstacles I created for this tile. So if we look at the obstacles here, this is the left down, so left down. This is some naming convention I explained already. If you are interested in it, please watch the videos before that. I cannot explain everything again, so yeah. Anyway, so this is the left down tile. You see here are 6 tiles, and these 6 tiles should match the ones I have here. Yes, that's true. They are not ordered in the same way because currently I not really look at ordering. Maybe I should order it. That's probably true. I should order it by name, which would make the most sense. Anyway, so currently not ordered anyway. So you can select basically the tiles that I specifically generated for this tile. So if I press spawn at one of these tiles, let's say I do the 6 steps now. I spawn this, I'm basically finished. Oh, I should have been finished. Bug again, whatever. I don't know what this is all about. It should be offset a little bit to here. I had problems with this before, but wait, I will fix this very quickly. So we have this here, 6 steps here. I like this obstacle, so I want to have it fixed. Player spawn position 0, 0. See, there's the bug. I don't know why. So what we have here is this. Move it to the left a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe there is another... okay. Let me check this just for a second. This is for the down, so that's fine. Okay. So I can apply this. Maybe at another point there was a bug in there anyway. So what I wanted to show is, which obviously did not work because that's how it's always going. If I'm selecting this one, I press spawn, and now it's completely bugging. Why? Oh, I'm so bad. See, That's development life. You're always doing some stupid mistakes. Once again, let's do this here, here. 0, 0, 0. Now, please, let's move these to the correct space. I don't know what am I doing wrong. What is going on right now? Ah, God, come on now. This here, 0, 0, 0. No. Yeah, it's completely buggy now. I don't know what's going on again. What the fuck? I just fixed this, right? Ah, because it's rotated again. But why is it rotated again? I don't understand. What did I do wrong now? Yeah, it should be like this. Because I saved it off wrong, right? Something is... It's 0... 90 degrees? No, not like this. What was happening right now? I don't know. That's also weird what happened now. And now we need to do it like this. Now we have it again. This is correct now again. I don't know why. I think it's because I saved it inside here, like I usually move it out beforehand, so that the rotation is correctly set. I think that's the problem, because see, now the rotation is a little bit different. So I will apply this now again, and this should now work at least. Like let's do this a little bit to the right again, because this is not perfectly in sync here. So, and now that's probably, by the way, also how I made the mistake before. Now if I press this should work. Let's hope it does. Spawn. Yes. Okay. Finally. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so basically what happens if you select one of these here, it should always appear. See, this now was this thing was correctly set up. It should always appear already in the correct position, so you do not need to have to fine-tune anything. Like, but because I'm now hand creating things, I'm fine also maybe reusing some other obstacles, which are not thought for this special type, but maybe I can change them very quickly. That's why I have this checkbox here, and basically what happens, I can now press this drop down, and the drop down will now show me all the different obstacles here. That's, by the way, default Unity behavior. I think it's really nice. I am really happy about it. So if you want to know how this works, I just have a pop-up box. That's the way Unity calls it. I don't know why. And all the forward slashes get... It's just a string. So all the forward slashes get translated into this, which is not bad. Like, I'm not sure why they do forward slash. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a Linux thing or something, but like, I'm Windows user, I'm not sure why they have to use forward slash. Everything in Windows is with backward slash, and I don't know. Like in C#, everything is like that as well. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but anyway, like, it's fine. You just have to get used to it. So yeah, but basically now what I can now do is, like, I can any of these, like, let's say whatever. Let's take some attractor, like here's an attractor. Let's take this one. Spawn it, and where is it here? Ah, it's just not glowing. There it is. That's an attractor. That's what you saw before. If I fly towards here, it will follow me around. So let's say we want to combine this obstacle with another. By the way, currently this is not saved. So the settings I had here, I really don't care about this right now, because I will not need to have the same. So it doesn't, I don't know how to explain this correctly. It doesn't really make any sense for me to save these positions. That's why I'm currently not saving them in the tile configuration script. I would be able to save them, and when I switch from here to here and back, it would still stay at the last selected thing, but I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I will not want to instantiate the same obstacle or instantiate the same tile again, so it doesn't really make sense to me. Anyway, so if I want to, let's say, have another obstacle in there, because I think that's maybe too easy, I don't know, let's do the drop down middle, why not, and uncheck this one. So this, this is checked, the old obstacle will be destroyed. That's what I did all the time before. If I spawn this now, you see here already there are two obstacles, and you see here we have also some cubes dropping down. So this will be a lot harder now, because like you have to watch the cubes and be fast enough to dodge the attractor. So let's leave it like that. That's a fine obstacle. Why not? Ah yeah, by the way, the tiles are all in the tile parent and the border are all in the border parent. That's just for me, so I can have a better overview what is what, because I had at the beginning I had some problems where I could not really differentiate between tiles and borders, and like it was also getting a little bit messy with a lot of tiles in there. So I did it like this, because see the tiles are named with the same naming convention as the borders, which is probably my bad. Like I shouldn't have done that. I should have somehow indicated that this is a border and this is a tile. Anyway, I just do it now under this parent and I'm fine anyway. Okay, so let's continue. We have this here. Let's say, I don't know, let's just do a random one. Whatever. Will be fine. Like this is just for here. What do we have here now? Static simple, what's that? Ah yeah, that's just flying around a couple of stuff. And then this one, I want to have something blinking here maybe. What do we have? Let's do 3 dodges. 3 dodges is a nice one as well. So now we have a complete level, which is probably quite hard. Not the easiest one, I would guess. So this is already finished. Like I could save the scene now. What I would usually do is I would save the scene under new name, so that the default scene is not overwritten, and I'm finished. But for now, I could start playing. I don't know if the if my PC will be lagging too hard. I switched on my controller, so Steam is getting up front. So, but maybe this will work. I don't know. Oh, and I'm dead. That's a little bit laggy again. What were my FPS? Oh, it's fine. Yeah, but now it starts lagging. I don't know. No, it's too much. I cannot do it during recording. But you see it's working basically. I hope it's not crashing. No, it's not. That's good. So, yeah. So basically we created our first small little level, which is fine. Like we have some obstacles. Now it would be obviously time to test it. Is it good? Is it bad? Like this is also just a bunch of random obstacles. I would not do it like that. There would be obviously some concrete, so basically game design ideas that will go into this. So not just doing random obstacles that will not really be needed. Like the bottom here, the spawn random, I actually don't think I will ever use. Anyway, I still thought like, why not do it? It just takes a couple of seconds because I had the code already finished for spawning random stuff. Everything was already done, so I just added the button. I was also thinking about just spawning a lot of random stuff, but that would have been a little bit more work, and I was like, no, like it doesn't make any sense anymore. I think I really want to do the level generation now. Like I said, it's a little bit different than what I said before, but like that's how I am. Like I'm not sure really how to do this. Where is it going? I have to test it, see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'm doing something else. Yeah, like I said. So that's basically what I did so far. I think that's it, yeah. What will I do next? So now that I have the basic level generation done, like I can now generate pretty easy and quickly a lot of different levels if I want to. What I now need to do is I need to get a vertical slice of the game, a complete vertical slice, which I do not have currently. I have a bunch of ideas in mind. Maybe I can go over these. Maybe you are interested in this stuff. Oh, that's still pizza delivery and WhatsApp web. Whatever. Let's go to Gmail. Hopefully this goes quickly. Yes. And what do I need? I need the drive. Let's go here. And there I have somewhere. Is it still untitled? I don't know. Oh no. We'll go to Wisp mechanics ideas. So what I'm currently thinking about, like it's a bunch of stuff. By the way, there's still stuff missing there, but yeah. So the first thing which I really need to think about is the color coding that some people talked about. I'm still not sure it's needed. Like in the prototype stuff, it really was needed because like it was really unclear where to go. But I'm also thinking about maybe putting an arrow at the corner to give the user some kind of feedback where to go or where the end of the level is. Like I don't want to have really complicated ways so you don't know where to go. So I think it should be fine if I just put an arrow there. And like maybe it would be nicer if not everything looked the same. But like I will also need to test this. Maybe it looks fine if I have different colors or like maybe a little bit different colors. I don't know. But like I said, I probably will color code this just because it's nicer. It gives the user instant feedback, so it should be a little bit better. Which is, by the way, also a thing I still need to do. So to the flare mechanics, like this is basically set in stone. I already really like this stuff. Like there's still a bug in here, but that's fine. These two player controls or player mechanics I'm not sure about. I'm thinking about maybe doing a break. Like if I'm going really fast, I sometimes really wish there would be a break. Like currently, if you press the dash button without the stick into any direction, it will do basically a full break, like it will just stop moving instantly, which is obviously not what I want because that's not a really nice mechanic. But maybe like doing some damping so you just lose speed. Like you can basically simulate this by doing the stick in the opposite direction you're flying and pressing A. But the problem is like it's not like easy to control. It's like actually really hard to control. And like something as easy as break maybe should be in there. Like I don't want to have instant breaks, but maybe a slow break. Like this one, I really not sure. I really have to test this. But I was thinking about maybe doing a third kind of movement. Like currently, I basically have the normal flying around, which is a movement where you can move pretty quickly. But it's not that easy to do. But it's fine. You have some problems because of the force you already have. You have to calculate it in and stuff. And I have the dash. The dash is just moving quickly into the direction of the stick if you press the button. Which is a lot easier to control, but you do huge jumps. So you cannot just use it anytime because like if the obstacle is too tight, you cannot use it and stuff like that. But basically, you also ignoring the gravity for a short period of time because you just move from one point to the next pretty quickly, like very quickly. So what I'm thinking about with this is I wanted to have something where I could control the flying a little bit better and be a little bit slower maybe. But like I had problems in theory about this because the problem was if I allowed people to have better control over Will Wisp, why shouldn't they always use it? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, even if it's a little bit slower, whatever, like, it would still be superior to the normal flying because it's just better. Like, if you could control it better, it's just better. So, what I came up with to fix that is, like, first of all, I didn't want to use any resource-based system because I think it just is a lot of overhaul for me and I don't like it as a mechanic in this. Like, I really want to stay as pure as I can. If at all possible, I will not introduce any resource management for the moves the player can make. Because I think it's not that great for this game. Like, I don't want to think about, oh, can I use this now or not? Is it on cooldown or not? Which, by the way, the dashing is also still working like that. There's a cooldown, you can only dash until the complete dash is, or you cannot dash when the complete dash is not done, which I will probably change as well, because I had some great ideas with dashing in between and having like some really cool scenes where you basically dash a couple of times in a row and you can basically navigate very quickly to very small spaces which you would not be able to do. So, and this is also the problem I have with here now, because like this entire thing I was talking about is what I was thinking about the zoom in stuff. Like, I thought like if you have some very tight spaces, maybe it would be cool to zoom in. give more accurate control, but you also see less stuff. So it's a lot harder to see what's coming. So you are in danger of running into stuff just because you don't see everything. And I also thought it's a pretty cool effect because I know that if you zoom closer in, it actually looks quite good. Like the player itself is not perfect yet, but it actually looks pretty cool if you zoom in more. But like I said, the problem first of all is I don't know like if there's enough meat on that bone. Like can I really do a lot with that mechanic? But it should be easy enough to look at it and implement it. And also the dashing stuff, like if I'm allowing dashing all the time, you can also navigate through these with dashes, just very small ones not. And like at that point it gets even less interesting, the mechanic overall. I just don't see where I could use it right now. So I have to think about this, maybe implement it, maybe I will not even implement it. If I don't see any use cases, it doesn't really help, even if it would look cool and stuff. So that's a big question mark there. Anyway, so word mechanics I have right now is blinking, following, static, and moving, which basically you already saw all in this, I think. Let's go back here. So just so to make sure. Yeah, so this is moving, this would be following, this would be static, and this would be blinking. So this is blinking all the time. Like this is a little bit more complicated blinking already, but whatever. So these are the word mechanics I have right now. So the dodge flying control, that's what I said before. Like basically, if you imagine, it goes like you do a lot of like here, you could dash to here, go up and left and up again. Like if I really need to test if this is working, but if you could dash in between, like when still dashing basically, you could basically change the direction really quickly. Because like, I don't know if I can show this, like it's so bad that that my PC is lagging when I'm doing the recording in this, but maybe I can show it. So right now it's not that much lagging because there are not that many particles. So left, down, and already dead. Anyway, but the idea, I think you get the idea. You go left, and then during the left motion, you already could go down. Like I really need to test, even if that's possible. If you can be fast enough, because it's like really quick that it goes from one to another point. Anyway, I was thinking about dodge flying control, which I think would be a pretty cool thing. Maybe even with accelerator stuff. Like I'm also thinking about doing like something like in F-Zero where you can accelerate. Yeah, zoom out and do bosses. I was already talking about this in a previous episode about rooms. I had problem with rooms also in theory, because if you, let's go into the game quickly back again, like this is fine, I can show this. Currently, if you are in here, basically the hallway, or whatever you want to call this, is already taking up most of the screen space. Like not all of it, I actually zoomed a little bit more in, but most of it, yes. So my problem was like, how is a room supposed to look like in the prototype? I did some rooms which were bigger, but I really had problems there with finding out where to go, and like it didn't really feel like a room because you could not see everything. Like in a normal, like I'm basically also like I'm looking about like I'm thinking about this game a little bit like a top-down game, but it's not top-down. But anyway, like the all the tiles and all the stuff is like, it's almost like a top-down game. And in a normal top-down game, the hallways would be a lot smaller. My problem is I don't want them to be smaller because I really need the room to really navigate correctly, and it looks nicer if I'm more zoomed in, and like it actually is even a little bit better for performance because I don't need to have that many particles on there, and like it really doesn't make sense for me, a lot of sense game design wise, to show more stuff. So what I was thinking about is, how about if how about when I'm going into a room, like let's say, let's do this really quickly just so you can see it. Like I don't have the tiles right now, but I can, or let's do it in Paint. Paint is always nice for this. I'm always using paint.net. By the way, paint.net, best tool, use it. Great tool. actually like it more than Photoshop these days. It's also because I'm way more familiar with it, and like I don't even know if I have a lot of plugins in here, but like the plugin based stuff is so great. Yeah, I actually have some. The plugin based stuff is so great, so you basically get all the effects plus in Paint.net compared to Photoshop, and you have like full control over what you want and what not. So it's not like that crowded like in Photoshop. It's so crowded because they have everything in the base package, and here I can basically say what I want, what I do not want. I can even extend it my own. I already wrote a really small little plugin for Lost Decade games, like just a fun one. Anyway, it's actually a really good tool, I think. Anyway, so what I wanted to say is the room stuff. So let's this and then do this here. So we have like here are the hallways, which basically go over the entire screen. And now let's say we would do a room here, just like this. So my problem before was if I'm moving into here, I would not see the entire room. So what I was thinking about, like before I'm going in there, I'm zoomed in, like probably like, I don't know, the dimensions are way off anyway. So I'm zoomed in like this, and then if I go over this edge here, I would zoom completely out, whatever, in here, and basically show the entire room like this. And also make a fixed camera, so the camera is no longer following. So that does a couple of things. Like first of all, it changes the perspective. Like the player is now, the player basically has now a really different feeling when playing, because before he was doing some really basically exact movements, like here, like the obstacles can be really tight and stuff, and here it's basically more about like trying to dodge a huge thing. Like I don't know, like I was thinking about a lot of stuff, but you can basically do a lot of things. It's very abstract, the game, so I can do a lot of moving stuff. I can maybe do some enemy types. I don't know, I'm not quite sure about this yet, but like I'm thinking about basically doing some obstacles in here you need to avoid either for a certain amount of time if it's really a boss level. Like I think a boss level for me would be like just a room, and you need to dodge it for a certain amount of time, and once you dodged it completely, you can go out the room and leave the level. Or if it's a room inside a normal level, you may just have to pass through it. So anyway, so this is still in thinking about, and I really need to implement this to see how everything's working there. Yes. So what else do we have here? Yeah. So these are some new obstacle types I want to check. I want to check out. I want to do some gravity manipulation stuff. Basically, what I'm thinking about, if I'm going back to Paint.net, because it's really nice to show things off here. Let's do this red and say we want this again, and this time round. If you go inside here, inside this circle, basically the gravity would start pulling you towards the middle of the circle. Like, I'm not quite sure how to show this to players, but like I actually thought it might be fairly interesting, because currently it's the gravity that pulls you down is like a really important mechanic, and I think it could really fiddle with people's minds if you start changing the gravity. I will need to see if it's not too crazy. Like if you do it like this, people will go nuts. Anyway, that was one thing I was thinking about. The next thing is, I think, fly into space. Yes. So let's go back to Paint.net for a second. So the next thing I was thinking about, let's say we have an obstacle here. That's not a good thing. Let's go with this color and whatever. Let's do an obstacle like this, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You have an obstacle here that you need to pass because it's in your way for leaving this room. Okay, so what I was thinking about, like, this is probably too easy. Like, we probably need multiple obstacles for this to really matter. Yeah, anyway, you can just think of multiple obstacles. So we have a number of obstacles here, and this is linked to this. I'm thinking about showing this with a dotted line anyway. That's my change. That's just the basic idea. So what I'm thinking about is if you fly inside this, maybe you could change when this is, or at which point this, because basically all these particles are doing a loop, and you could change the starting point of that loop. Maybe just slowing down the time for them while inside here, and if you fly out again, it will resume its normal thing, but then it would have been that the time that it spawns would have changed. I don't know if you can imagine this. Maybe I can show it here. Like, actually there's a good thing here. Yeah. So see? These particles are all blinking one after another and then going out. Like, imagine if these would not go like this, but would, like, I don't know, whatever, in any other way. Like, let's say if you fly inside here, you could change the way this particle is blinking. So you just slow the time down for this one, and all of a sudden, maybe you have a gap where you can move through. If these would be close and you could stay in between these could be a way to solve puzzles inside Will Glow the Wisp, which I was thinking about because I actually like some puzzle elements in games, but I was not sure about how to do this in this game. But because like staying on one point is really hard. Like because the gravity is always pulling you down and there's no platform here. So it was really hard. So what I was thinking about is if you fly inside here, you would get centered in the middle here. You would get centered here in the middle, and as long as you're in the center, this would go slower, or probably just a little bit slower. Like, I don't know, like I will need to check if this is really a good idea. And you would see basically the connection to here. And maybe you have multiples of these things in one room and you can change the way these are basically blinking or moving or whatever. And then within this you can basically change the way the particles are behaving. You could even do something different. You could do different stuff. You could even do menus here. Like if you fly in there, maybe you can change not only one thing but multiple things. Like how about changing the lifetime size? Like maybe you could change lifetime size for different presets. So basically it's first big and then smaller or whatever. Like there's a lot of possibility inside here. Just manipulating these particle systems. I think that's a pretty good idea. I could even see myself, now that I'm talking about it, doing a menu here. That's a really nice idea. Like you could just move the stick into one direction and then this changes. So I actually like this. I will test this. I will actually write this down right now. Doing game design on the fly, or thinking about game design on the fly. That's not bad. So doing a circle menu for selecting what should be changed. How to select. Rest still undecided. Over time or selection. Yes. So yeah, that's basically this idea. A little bit more than I had before, but I was just thinking about this today. So anyway, so that's another idea. Like I also had some ideas. Like maybe you could fly. Like there's not a gravity, but basically a force pulling you around. Like basically, I don't know how it's called in English. Like it doesn't really matter. I think you know what I mean. Like if the moon is running around the Earth, like this the same thing. Like you could be turning around some stuff. Anyway, but I'm not sure. Like I didn't write this down because I didn't feel like it's really interesting. But maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, there's also a lot of other obstacles I can do. Like I was also thinking, but I did not write this down because I think it's clear. Like moving obstacles, maybe like this, and then it's spinning around, and you have to go inside there and stuff like that. Like basically a lot of different obstacles, like to make it look a little bit nicer, and also maybe a way to do some puzzles inside there. Yeah. So, but I will not be able to do all this till next week because that's way too much, and I'm only working next week only one day again on this. So basically how this is going is I'm working 2 days in 1 week and 1 day on another week. that's the thing I do for sure. And sometimes I'm working a little bit on weekends, but like I cannot work over do that much do too much work basically because the German government is forbidding that. And like if my real if the guy who's giving me the money would find out that I would work more than whatever 50 hours a week, like they could have problems with that, and I'm not doing that. I'm really not. Like sometimes I'm working a little bit on the weekend, but not that much. Like maybe doing this video like here and some other stuff, but not that much more. And I also think that's really good because I really need to have some free time because I would break if I'm only programming all the time. I don't think it's good to do too much work, so that's also the reason why I reduced my working hours. Basically, I mean, I get 25% less money or something like that, so I'm poor. Not that poor, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I actually had a blast talking today. Once again, last week I already asked, do you want to see more code? Do you want to see more code or do you want to see more game design stuff? Like I can go into details in both of this. Like I'm doing a lot of thinking about game design. My code doesn't look that bad. Like yeah, like it's fine. Like it's not the best one, I guess. But like it's okay. Like I'm working completely on this alone, so I'm not commenting right now because I know what I did and like I'm doing like the classes I do, like they are really small. If you see like this behavior, it actually doesn't do anything. Like the entire, maybe this is would be really interesting. The entire way I'm doing the actions and stuff inside here, like you saw it in the past. I don't know if you noticed it. I will just quickly show this. Where is here? So this editor trigger and stuff. Basically, I have a way of handling things in code and then also being able to execute it in the editor and execute it on start and stuff. And like this could be an entire podcast, so I'm not going into this right now. I would go crazy, but what it forces me to do is like keeping the classes pretty small and the behaviors and like this is actually doing nothing almost. Like you see, like I could do an entire podcast about it. If you're interested in this, like if nobody tells me, I might still just do it, and you might either be disappointed or really happy. I don't know. Anyway, so please let me know what you think about this podcast. I noticed that last time I got a lot of, not a lot. Like I did, the first episode had some likes, and this one, the last one, didn't have any. It has just one dislike. So I don't know what changed. Like, was the quality worse? Like, what was going on? Like, please tell me, guys, so I can improve things. Like I said, I'm new to all this. I hope, once again, you enjoyed everything. Have a nice rest of the weekend. Like, you probably will not see it this weekend, so have a nice week, I guess. Have a nice week, and bye.